Hi guys, welcome to the channel. As you can see, sat in just pull up here. Look. Where are we today? I think we're in Ambleside. No, not in Ambleside. Ambleside's over here. So we are down Bathgate, Broadway. Oh, there we go. So just sat down in Broadway, and for the first time I'm just trying Forza Horizon 4. Not that I'm anyway biased in how a car should feel, but obviously Forza Horizon, it's an open world arcade game for anything. It's not a simulator, let's put it that way. It's not trying to be a simulator, but there's nothing wrong with trying to get the best feel from the wheel as we can possibly get. So obviously I'm using my usual Fanatec 2.5 bass, I've got inverted pedals, and for this game I'm using the Club Sport wheel. I have got, as you all know, the McLaren wheel. I don't think you can use this wheel, to be honest, in this game because of the amount of... You're going to be drifting quite a lot in this game, just with the dynamics of the game and the way it plays. So being able to drift with the GT3 wheel is just not possible. You can't feed the wheel at all. So going back to how the car feels with this wheel, it's taken me quite a while, to be honest, to actually get anything like something that I'm happy with. Initially I downloaded Forza Horizon 4 and I played it for maybe an hour and just deleted it. So I've come back to it. It's a beautiful game, it really is. Looks wise, the graphics are great. The customizability at the moment I think is very limited. I'd like to be able to actually position this so I've got a better field of view, which I can't do. I'd just alter. There's no way with where I'm sat, looking at the screen, my eye line should be around the centre of the window, and I need to lower it down a little bit, to be honest. But every car is going to be different. I'm currently just playing the demo, which is free. Which is great. I think all games should offer a free demo, just so that you're not wasting your money when you go out to go and buy it, and getting a chance to have a go at it before that happens. I think Forza have done a good job at doing that. As much as I hate the Forza brand, just because of the repetition that the game literally just repeated itself year on year, but Project Cars 2 for me has a great handling dynamic, and there's just so much customizability in Project Cars. I can't find a better title currently on console. But anyway, this is all about getting the car to how it feels best for me. I'll run through my wheel settings because it does make a difference to those of us that are using the Fanatec equipment. Sensation I've got set to 900. My force feedback is set at 80, which is fairly high. Shock I've got off. ABS I've got set to 60. Drift mode I've got set to -4. My brake force is off because I'm running the brake performance kit on my pedals, and I've set that as hard as I can get it, really, more closer to a GT3 car. And the FX I've got set at 60, and that's it for the wheel. If we actually go into the menus, and if you come to settings, if you go to control settings, and in here I've got it set to default 4 because I can upshift and downshift with the paddles. I've got my e-brake, I've got that set by changing this one here to my clutch pedal, because I'm not going to use my clutch pedal because of the paddles. I just don't find using the gear stick any good anyway. What else was there on here? Yes, so having it set on default 4, it actually allows you to look left and right. If you have this set to 1, there is no option to look left and right. So for me, this needs looking at, to be honest, because there's quite a lot of wheels obviously on the controller, and I'd prefer to use the left-right function on the D-pad, and to change look left and right to look left and right on the D-pad. And I'd rather have whatever, activate, quick chat, whatever, to B. So I just think you could make this menu more customizable. It's not that hard to change a button layout to make it customizable rather than a preset. But anyway, from this menu, we're going to click to use X button to advanced. And in this menu, we can set loads of different parameters to try and get the wheel to feel much better. So for the most part, all these ones at the top, I haven't adjusted at all. The deceleration dead zone, because my pedal's so stiff, I've set this to 50 because I think the braking in this game is totally exaggerated. Without going into the menus of each car and setting them, it just felt like even the minutest touch of the brake pedal and I was absolutely braking as if I was outright braking as hard as I could. So I've just adjusted this slightly so it feels like I'm putting some force through the pedal before it actually works. Most of the other stuff, the e-brake, the clutch and all that lot's irrelevant unless you're using a handbrake and you want to have a very a softer handbrake. These are all the ones that are going to make the difference down the bottom here. So vibration generally just rattles the wheel a little bit, so I've just turned this off. It's an absolute pointless thing to me. It doesn't give you any information, it just vibrates the wheel. Force feedback, obviously through the wheel I've got it set at 80, and in the game menu I've got it set at 60. I have tried it a little bit lower, but it just doesn't seem to give me the feel that I want. And centre spring, loads of people I've seen turn this off completely. Well, I think we all know that if you try and accelerate in a car with the wheel turned slightly, as soon as you start to accelerate, it tries to pull the wheel back to centre. Well, if you turn this off, it just stays where it is. It doesn't try to come back to centre. And I know this is sort of counterintuitive to try and make the wheel come back to centre, but the game doesn't do this. It doesn't try to pull the wheels back, which for me, it almost feels like there's not a sensation of grip in the wheel or in the feel of the tyres. The one thing this game is lacking is a sensation of grip. It just doesn't feel like the car's gripping in any way at all. Wheel damper, this is just to add a little bit of weight to the wheel. Force feedback understeer. One of the things that this game lacks in, I think, as well, is a sensation of oversteer. And as much as you can bring this down to 0, which gives you no sense of understeer, but more sense of oversteer, I don't think it gives you any better sense of oversteer. It just reduces the amount of sensation of understeer. So I've just put that ended up back in the middle. Force feedback scale, again, someone else said to put this all the way to 100. I don't think it gives a linear feel of something getting harder to steer. It almost reduces the sensation for me. I did try the wheel rotation angle set down at about 320. I think I had it at 360. 360 on the GT wheel, and that felt alright. But as soon as you changed it to 390 or 420, I think it allows you to try. I'll just try come down. Yeah, I had it at 360. Tried it at 390, it feels horrendous. 420 felt horrendous. So I ended up changing my wheel and putting it back to 900. I'll show you how the wheel feels in the game. And I do like this function as well, that you can change. You can see how the wheel, that's another thing that I don't like. It does move quite nicely, but that's as far as his hands move to. So you see the rest of the wheel, it's like, what the fuck? Why isn't he moving the rest of the wheel? I don't actually understand that. So we get rid of, and I come to this view. Again, I'd like to move the whole screen down. Maybe move it forward a tiny bit. It's not too bad how it looks. So let's get a look at how the car feels. Whoa. Whoa. I hate it when it cracks the windscreen. How do we get it? How do we change that? I've just cracked the windscreen. So generally I just go around and start an event. So if we just start the event, obviously you get all these niceties while it's trying to load up the next event. I just quit the race. And then that just brings you back to a screen where you've not got a cracked windscreen. But we've got night. Whoa. Sorry. Whoa. Pull apart side pull. So yeah, it's got a nice feeling through the wheel, at least something that you can actually use with the wheel. And this was what I was meaning. If you turn off the wheel centering and you turn the wheel like that, if you tried to accelerate in a normal car, it would try and pull the wheel straight. Well, you turn that off and it doesn't do that. I'll just show you what I mean. So I come to control setup, go to centering, come all the way down, and turn wheel centering off. Remember I've got it set on 40. Let's accept that and then come back out. Now a normal car wouldn't do that. It would bring the wheel back to centre. So I don't understand why anyone hasn't used that. For me, it's all wrong. One of the problems I've also think this game suffers with is certainly not an attention to detail, because it is a lovely looking game. And there's no neutral gear, which is a bit weird. Is the sense of oversteer, lift off, oversteer. Not sure why there's so much lift off, oversteer, and I'm not sure whether through tuning each car you could maybe adjust the deceleration diff, or whether there's a preload. I'm not even sure if I can tune the car. I think you can only tune it at the start of a race. So, street event, tuning the car. Let's have a little look in here then, if there's anything that I can use. The deceleration diff. It's on the rear really, I want to adjust this. See if that stops the car from oversteering so much under braking. That's another thing I wish companies would stop doing, is putting information in this area of the screen. You should put it up here where people can see it all the time. Nothing's ever going to disrupt that. You've got a wheel in the way. That's what you should have if you're using a wheel. So putting information right there is silly for me. So there we go, guys. It's not perfect, but it certainly feels a lot more playable with the wheel now. Not sure whether I'd buy the game just yet. I'd probably look at pre-owning it. I've no idea how much it retails at, but I certainly don't think it's just a mess around game for me. You know what I mean? It's a really pretty game, very pretty to look at. Whether it's got any length, I don't know. It's something to enjoy. I'm not sure it's something that would keep you interested for a long period of time, but it's certainly very nice to look at, and I probably would enjoy playing it, but I think it's still got a little bit of a way to go before it actually feels good through the wheel. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can get a little bit of playability out of it if you've got a Fanatec wheel. I hope this helps. Unfortunately for the GT3 wheel users, I think the GT3 wheel is one of the best wheels on the market, pound for pound. It really is a quality wheel. I'd much prefer to use the other wheel over this wheel every day of the week, really, when it comes to project cars or Assetto Corsa. But even still, Assetto Corsa's got problems with setting the wheel ratios, especially on Xbox anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, anyway.